All right. Happy New Year, everyone. And today's video, we are going to demo how to install Db2 version 12.1 Community Edition with Purescale features on Red Hat Linux 9.5. So I put a bracket, it's experimental, because the Db2 is kind of new. And also, they introduced the pacemaker as the software clustering software. So in this demo, we're going to do some kind of experimental install. Here's the system I'm going to use. I have two database servers. Here's the basic information. This host name, it is a machine name. One is R9, another is IS9. The OS is RHEL 95, Db2 it is 12.1. This is the IP address. Okay, similar thing. So, and as you typically, we download the install from IBM and the stage onto the server. Already done this, and also we already done this untar this image and then do prerequisite check. Let's go on. So after prerequisite check, we're gonna install this quite a few methods to do the install. So in this demo, we're gonna demo method 1. Okay. So one of the method is just use a single line. You can see here, I just use this single line. Y, it is accept the license. B, it is the location. P is the what kind of product is. We're gonna use the Db2 server. -F, we're gonna install the Purescale. Or we can also use interactive instead of using the command option. All right, so this is method 1. So method 2, it is basically instead of using a single command to install all 3 components, so we can separate install all these components. For example, we can use this command -F without pacemaker. So just install the Db2 binary. And then we can install pacemaker using this command, db2 install pacemaker. Then we're going to use this install the GPFS. So this method for learning purpose, and it's more clear what is exactly being installed. So method 3 is db2 setup. So that is use GUI. We probably will cut a second video. With also method 4 is use the db2 setup with response file. Okay, so we're going to demo method 1 and method 3. Okay, so and then the verification. Okay, that's it. So let's get started. Okay, so let's log on to our demo system. I'm going to start with R9 first. Okay, as usual, we're going to use the root user at R9. So this is the log on remotely. So I have run a short script to display the basic system information. You can see it's listed here. And it is host name, OS, number of CPUs, memories, so on and so forth. Okay. So just for handy. Now we're going to go to the location. I have a location here. Here's the IBM Db2 software install image. So I already unzip or untar the file. So everything is going to be in this location. Okay, server deck. Okay, so let's go to inside. So it is very familiar. We have the Db2 prerequisite check, Db2 install, Db2 setup, and the Db2 LS. Okay, let's do Db2. You see, Db2 is prepared to check the installed copy of this. It will find nothing because right now it's nothing installed on the server. Okay. And then we're going to simply let's do the go to the list. Okay, so we're going to do the prerequisite check. The first thing we need to make sure the SE Linux is disabled. So let's check. So it's basically we can do a cat add c SE Linux config and so let's go grep. So you can see it. So the SE Linux is disabled. Okay. So actually we can check another server. So we can just use SSH to another server in. So we're gonna get to the same thing. Okay. So now we're gonna do the prerequisite check. Okay, let's do this one. So this is going to check the latest and with Purescale feature. If we don't want Purescale, we use -i. Okay, so it's return quick. There's nothing to. So it's all prerequisite to check. It is. So we can use -v to check this specific version, but they give lots of output. So they basically check all the required packages. So anything if missing, we will need to install. But now we can go on to this method. So we're gonna simply run the db2 install. Okay, so we're going to do run db2 install. It takes probably a few 10 minutes or less, depends on how fast your server is. So we're going to just use the default location, and then the product is a server, and then feature is with Purescale. So, all right, let's see. All right, so let's return. Okay. All right, so it's gonna take us some time. So while it is running, so I'm going to pause the video and come back. All right. Yeah, you can see it. It's db2 installation is being initialized. It's like 60-ish steps, so it gonna take like 10 minutes. Also, this my machine is kind of slow, so I'm gonna pause this video and return. Okay, the install is in progress. For example, you can see it step 36. It is installed IBM storage scale that is commonly known as GPFS, General Parallel File System. So, all right, the installation just completed. Let's do a verification. So first we're gonna do the db2 ls to make sure the db2 binary is installed on the disk. So it's typically in the standard location /opt IBM db2, then the version number. So of course we can install whatever location we choose, but typically the default location, it can be handy. Okay. So after that, we're going to check the GPFS, and let me go to the bottom of this document. So now we can just simply use this location and run this db to check PCMK, and -v installed will show us what version being installed. And also we can use the RPM to check, for example, RPM check the pacemaker. We can also check the core sync. Okay, core sync. So that is the similar clustering software like in the in the older TSAM. Okay, so let me back to this document. So we're going to check first the like opt IBM Db2 and the version install. Then I can kind of the pacemaker, so it's going to be Db2 check minus v install. Okay, so give us the version number. So we can check another one. It is in the instance native install db2 check package. Oh, there's two of them. Check dpfs minus v install. So we can check this way. So they're given like 5 to 1 version. So all 3 components install was successful. So another way we can do is use RPM. Let's see my pacemaker. We can check this way as well. Yeah, so we can also check like core sync, right? Okay, and we can also check the GPFS. I think it's a GPFS dot base. Yeah. So, or you can grab all the GPFS packages, GPFS, like 5 or 6 of them. Okay. So, yeah. So that is basically the method using the simple command line and to do the install. And so the next, let's see. So it's right now 12 minutes. So I think I can continue. So I'm going to continue to the second method. So the second method is not second method. Second is just separately install. So I'm going to move on to the different one. The method 3. Okay, using the db2 setup GUI. As said, typically, if you have desktop environment for Linux, you can use, but typically we don't have. So in the real world, we most likely have used X window. Okay. So let me leave this window and switch to a different server. So I'm going to log on to another server to use another method to do the install. Similar thing, okay? So I'm going to use root to S9, okay? So this is the S9, right? You can see it. So host name. So for this server, we have 2 CPUs, so 3 gig memory. So and also the IP addresses and the kernel version. So let's go to the location. I think it's in this location. Yeah, already. So we can do the same thing. So I'm gonna skip this pre-check because I already checked a pre-check. So now we're gonna just move on to the installation. Okay. For the installation, the command we're going to type, it is the db2 setup. Okay, just a single command, the db2 setup. Then they're going to launch a GUI. The command going to fail because this is needed the graph user interface. So they need X window to display the image. So that is what they're going to fail. Okay, so we need 2 things. The first thing, we need to export the display variable to a server. In my case, I have the X window started, X server started on my laptop. This is my IP address, and so whatever you X Windows software you use, you can do this, like Xmean, mobile terms, those kind of so Now we're going to launch again. Okay, so then it will display the setup onto the screen. Okay, so let's see, can't connect to Windows. Let me see, maybe the IP address. Let me see what is my IP address. Okay. All right, I found the problem. So my IP address is 152, not 158. So let's launch the Db2 setup. Okay. And so the Db2 setup, it is the preferred tool by IBM, I think, because they already said this Db2 install is deprecated. However, for whatever reason, it is still being widely used, But theoretically, really, Db2 setup is the tool we should use. If we use the GUI version that is similar to this Microsoft install, especially when we install Microsoft Windows cluster, for SQL Server, and it was very similar. And also similar to the Oracle run installer, also need to use the X window to display. And so the Db2 setup also has some other advantage. For example, you can install multiple servers at the same time, and also you offer you to create an instance. They will do lots of check, similar like Microsoft. When you set up the Windows cluster, you also, the GUI will check behind the screen, the networking, so on and so forth. The Db2 also do the same thing. They check the SSH between the servers for the root user and the Db2 instance owner. Okay. Another one is, as I said, it's the response file. So we can use this to create a response file and do the install as well. So, but for this demo, we just do a simple using this GUI tool. You can see it. See, we're going to use the standard is going to the server edition. So we're going to with the Purescale feature. So straightforward. Then the next screen, they will ask if we want to create an instance. So to create an instance, we need the shared drive. Okay, so we don't have shared drive yet. We just simply just install the software. I'm going to uncheck this one and accept the license. So we're going to use the typical installation. If you see what the typical installation is installed, you can see install the pacemaker and also the Purescale support. Okay. You see general parallel file system. Yeah. Although now they call a different name like storage scale, but it's actually more popularly known as the GPFS. Okay. And this is a default location, so we can go ahead to do the next. Okay. So you see the next, they just check the servers. So currently we are on the S9 server, right? So if you want to say I want to add a server, you can add multiple server as long as you can have SS communication between this server to another server. So they can do that. So I'm not going, if you see, I'm going to add a host. If you have like 4 servers, you can install at the same time. All right, so let's go on. So because I already installed R9, if I don't have, I can add R9 on this list and then do validate. Okay. So let's give example. So you see, I'm going to add R9 just in case, So it's going to pending, so you need to validate the host. So it's already done, so I don't need it. I'm going to remove. Just do the single install for this server. So now they're going to do the verify a prerequisite, and you will see the GUI will do more rigorous prerequisite check. Okay. So actually, I did find another package is required when we run the GUI install. Okay, so let's see. So there's options. If you don't want to install, you can use create a response file, right? And then you can use this response file for the future. Okay. So we're gonna use this one. Just see, we're gonna install and also save a response file. The response file is going to be in the root directory. So this is the response file. Okay, so now we can click finish. So it's also very simple. Okay, so you can see it said they said install location is here. Purescale, this is the CF primary, and the Purescale member. And I don't think this is correct because we haven't decided which one it is member, which one is just the CF node. Okay, so but anyway, this is simply so I'm going to click finish. It says the files already exist. That is response by previously when I installed it. The response can just overwrite this file. Now they're going to start the install, and it takes some minutes. So I'm going to pause this video and come back. All right, the install is complete. You can see the setup complete, successful. We can see the log file. We can see the whatever post script post. It's just going to, this is very similar to the Windows. So we are going to click finish. So exit this setup wizard. So now we're going to do the verification for the S9 server. So similar thing, we're going to do the Db2 RS. So the typical Db2 RS is a little bit slower than the standalone because I think they will not only to check the Db2 binary, also they need to check the GPS, GPFS, and the pacemaker. Okay. So after that check is done, and then return the location of the Db2. And all right, so while it's running, let's summarize. So basically, we did two kinds of installation. In this demo, one is use the Db2 install with those options. Where you install what kind of product and what kind of feature. So another thing, it is using the GUI. Okay, we can also use the response file if we use automation. So it's probably we're going to use this. Either use the method one or method 4. This method also has used where we can use basically we can just install each component, so it's easy to understand and easy to troubleshoot. Okay, so let's see. We also do the check. So let's see. We also do the check pacemaker and also check GPFS. Okay, so both systems have the software installed. So the next video, if possible, I'm going to try to set up the cluster. Okay, so because the Purescale is rather complicated, similar like the Db2 rack, but it's less complicated as a rack. Okay. But it's less popular because it's not like if you search the Oracle RAC RHEL application cluster, you can find a million documents basically. But for the Db2 Purescale, it's very limited. Mostly it's from like communities, like a Db2 community. The user is it's not really something very solid from the IBM perspective. Okay, but anyway, so that's all for today.